Okay, fam, I told you SOUN is exploding just like I told you it would. Over $8 today. But is this going to continue? What's going on with the stock and why is it on the rise so quickly this last few days? We're going to touch base on all of that right now. Don't worry about subscribing, tapping the like button, or looking for the coaching and Discord link. We will get to that soon. Strap in. Let's dive right into SOUN. I told all of you guys on YouTube, just like I told my students, to grab SOUN when it was $4 a share, and now it's up over $8. And if you should continue to hold or take some profits and wait for a pullback and get back in. We're going to discuss all of these things in this video. SOUN shares are trading higher on Friday as the company announced the deployment of its conversational AI agent Amelia at Apivia Courtage as a part of the AEMA group. If you don't know what that is, it is an insurance agency, I believe, in France, and now they're implementing Amelia and AI into insurance brokers overseas. So now that's going to be added to their portfolio in addition to restaurants and automotive, and not to mention the fact that they are now placing themselves in multiple countries around the world. They are positioning themselves to be the leading industry AI solution for voice and voice recognition. In a press release on Thursday, SoundHound AI reported that Amelia AI agents manage over 100,000 customer calls in 2024, reducing the volume of inbound queries handled by human employees at Apivia Courtage by nearly 20%. These calls were largely focused on medical expense reimbursements and insurance policy information. The deployment, which began in January 2023, was designed to improve efficiency and allow customer service teams to focus on higher value tasks. The CEO of Apivia Courtage stated that integrating the AI systems enhanced work quality for employees and improved workplace atmosphere. Michael Anderson, EVP of Enterprise at SoundHound AI, emphasized the benefits of automation in enabling contact center staff to manage more complex tasks. Can you imagine if SoundHound AI is able to get any form of contracts or partnerships with Progressive Insurance, Geico, USAA, State Farm, Allstate, any of these big companies, even Plymouth Rock? It would be huge. With AI agents managing routine customer questions, Apivia Courtage's employees are now able to focus on more rewarding and valuable aspects of their work. We're thrilled to support them in delivering thousands of high-quality interactions, commented Anderson. Apivia is operating under the AEMA group, is one of France's largest insurance entities, serving over 11 million customers through more than 1,600 agencies and 3,900 brokers. The group's annual revenue exceeds 15 billion euros. Essentially, you could say it's like Europe's Progressive or Geico, which is huge. If SoundHound continues to make these kind of strides, it's no wonder the stock price is over $8 right now. Projects like this show the incredible value AI and automation can deliver, not only to our customers, but also to their customers, said Anderson. If we look at SoundHound's market cap, which is $3.05 billion, and divide that by the trailing 12-month revenue, we can see that is $67 million. We get a very high price to sales, which is going to be around 30. However, that doesn't take into account all the revenue that they've generated this year in its entirety. So, however, that doesn't take into account the revenue that SoundHound is going to be collecting between now and the end of the year. It's only up until this point, as it's the trailing 12 month, and they're increasing their revenue quarter over quarter. So I anticipate in 2025, this 30 price to sales will probably tighten up into the low 20s, high teens, which is pretty good, where a lot of companies that have established themselves are already sitting. If you look at the total revenue, it's $25 million in the recent quarter. Trailing 12 month is $67 million. Pre-tax income is still in the negative. Net income still in the negative. And EBITDA is in the negative, although it's stabilized, but still progressively worse than it was just a few quarters ago or in the fourth quarter of 2023. If we look at the balance sheet, we look at their assets definitely exceeding their liabilities and their debt. They have enough assets to take care of their liabilities liabilities and their debt. It's just a question of whether or not they can continue to grow like they are right now. And based on the numbers, they will definitely be okay if they can continue to get more contracts and continue to grow at the rate that they're growing right now. Cash flow is also in the negative, which is not good. I'm hoping in the next two earnings, which is coming up in March 11th of 2025, I'm hoping they can turn that around and that they can close out 2024 pretty close to break even or positive, so that going forward, they can get into the positive cash flow, which is a necessity for a company to stay afloat long term. SoundHound is up year to date 287%. They are up in the last year 285%. 3 month is 65%. 6 months is 65% as well, meaning the last 3 to 6 months it's been consolidating. Since the new year, it is almost a 3x return. But since it's already hit that peak twice at the 3 month and the 6 month mark, and the fact that most of the value that we're seeing in SoundHound right now is future guidance and expectations baked in due to Amelia's most recent deals, the question is, will there be more good, lucrative contracts and partnerships like this with Amelia in the future? The question is, will there be more future contracts and partnerships in order to justify this forward-looking premium on the SoundHound price? Because honestly, as much as I love SoundHound, what's going on right now is future guidance and extreme expectations. The stock is currently worth between $5 to $9, maybe $5 to $10, depending on which analyst you talk to. However, a lot of this has to do with future guidance, future baked-in expectations, and the general public and private investors are eating this up because their expectations are through the roof. FOMO is kicking in and everybody's buying it up. The question is, can it maintain this? Can the news continue to be good? Can they continue to beat earnings? That is the question we're all asking. Look, if this confuses you, the price to sales, price to earnings, cash flow, net debt, the balance sheet that I just looked at, understanding the news and fundamentals of a company, if all of these things are confusing you, you're trying to get involved in trading, trying to become more profitable, maybe you're losing money, maybe you want to retire, I would love to help you. I grew up in a Catholic household. My parents were hard on me to do the right thing to help others. I achieved financial freedom and I created my entire training course and my entire system as I set out to help others achieve financial freedom and success that they deserve. You guys can sign up at any time at investorcorey.com. The link is in the information box below. I offer a full Discord, training course, and one-on-one coaching so that I can help you grow your portfolio and achieve the financial freedom that you ultimately deserve. So you guys can see here my students' profits. Mad Max has got $1 million account now, 23,000 in a day. Demetrius has been here for a very short amount of time, yet he is still up $7,800. We scroll up a little bit more, you'll see that other students are up 51% 3 months. Another student I have in Canada made $7,000 in a week. Sai has 35% return since he joined in the last month, and Timmy is up $85,000. One of my first students, Sherry, signed up for my Discord with an $8,000 portfolio. She showed me pictures way back when she only had $11,000, and this was back on August 19th, just under 3 months later, $30,000. That is a 300% return in 3 months. But don't take my word for it. Let's take a listen to my student Josh has to say about my coaching.
I do think what differentiates Corey from others is just the honesty in his coaching. He's available, he's there, and he has just a very, he's very focused on helping people learn and become successful traders. So I started a little over 6 weeks ago, and I'm happy to report I'm up just shy of 20% on my entire portfolio, equates to $58,000.
So you heard what my student Josh had to say. If you guys want to take control of your financial freedom, I would love to help you. It's what drives me every single day. I will see you guys when you're ready to commit to your financial dreams and goals. So you can see here, this is where I told YouTube and my students in the Discord to enter SoundHound at 389, 390 roughly. And right now it's up to 826. This is pretty much a 300% return just about. And we're peaking very close to the high back in March when Nvidia invested in SoundHound and the stock price went all the way up to $10.50. I highly recommend doing your due diligence on this stock and watching it. We've broken out of the wedge. However, The bottom is pretty safe to say right now at $5.76 to $6. Right around the $6 range. $5.50 is even stronger. So I would say $5, $5.50, and $6 are your strong support levels. 5 is incredibly strong. In fact, that hasn't been broken since the beginning of October, and it barely went under $5. We've been pretty much holding $5 since July. So it's unlikely to go below 5, and it's fairly unlikely to go below 5.50. And it's kind of 50-50 up in the air if it goes below 6. But it looks like, based on this support and resistance that we broke with this break of structure right there, that SOUN is kind of unlikely to go below 6. So we're kind of looking between $6 to $8. So should you continue to buy this stock right now? Well, I would kind of wait just a little bit. This is just what I think, for myself at least, and you guys can do your own due diligence on it. But you can see this big wick right here. This tells me there's some indecision with this doji candle. It's either going to keep going and then pull back again with another wick, which is a double peak that we could have right there. And when it does that, it could drop back down to support here and kind of do this number, and we could see this going forward. Or it could go up a little bit more and come back and settle into the $8 range. Personally, I'm just being honest here, I see it either going up first, double peak, coming down, or just starting to drop off a little bit on Monday. But it's hard to say which one of those two is going to happen. But either way, by mid to end of next week or going into the following week, there is that real looming possibility, which I think is pretty high, that the stock is going to pull back down into the mid 7s or low 7s and consolidate a bit, which is still fine because this stock started at $3 at the beginning of the year, like less than $3. And now it's going to be settling in the $7 range. But this is what I would do. If the stock continues to go up and resistance starts to pull back, wait for some consolidation, then you could essentially buy some shares here and then sell a couple of $6 puts and a couple of $6.50 puts. If the stock falls below $6.50 and $6, you would get a sign. It would give you the average of the three. You'd be dollar cost averaging. And if not, it's free premium. So essentially, what I would do is wait to see what happens this week. If the stock continues to go up, maybe add some at 8.20, 8.28, 8.30. And then if the stock goes back and starts to fall, add some at 7.80 or 7.50. If it falls a little more, get some at $7 and sell some 6.50 puts, $6 puts going out a month to help offset. If you don't get assigned on these puts, they will essentially offset some of your cost where you purchase the shares. Because if you buy 100 shares at 8.28, 100 shares at 7.80, and 100 shares at $7, that's going to give you an average cost of around 7.40. But then if you have 300 shares at 7.40 and you've got 2 or 3 puts down here that you've made, another $60, $80 on, that comes off of your dollar cost average. So let me show you how that would work. You have 300 shares and you're going to divide that by 60 bucks. 3 puts at $20 each, maybe a little more. We'll say maybe 70. That's $4.28 per share. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the $75 or maybe $80, whatever you get for the 3 puts, and we're going to divide that by 300 shares, giving you a 25 cents per share reduction. So if you have a 7.40 average or dollar cost average, you now have a 7.15 dollar cost average. And this is what you want to do. You want to buy some shares. If it drops, buy some more shares. If it drops a little more, buy some more and sell a couple of puts. And this is how you collectively add to your position over time. But ultimately, even if you buy these shares at $8 in 6 months to a year, it's highly likely that you're going to be in the green anyway. This is a long-term hold. Don't expect to buy these shares at $8 and the stock's going to run to 30 overnight. Highly unlikely. It could close the year out at 9 or 10, maybe a little higher. We are in a very bullish market, so be careful. Remember, we see all this green and resistance. We're looking for an exit. So what we should be doing is looking to see what happens here for a potential pullback, sell puts and dollar cost average and add to our position. But this in no means is bearish to me. This is a bullish stock and a great stock to hold long term, and I am bullish on it. I am just showing you the right way to do it so you don't lose money, or you have a better chance at making money quicker and having a better dollar cost average. Appreciate you guys being here. If you guys are having difficulty understanding the strategies that I showed you in this video and the technical analysis, the fundamentals, like I said earlier, I would love to help you guys. You can sign up at investorcorey.com. Link is in the information box below. I offer full Discord training course, Discord and one-on-one coaching, and a masterclass boot camp to help you achieve your financial goals. And it's what drives me every single day. So I look forward to seeing you real soon. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I will catch you on the next video. One love, fam.